Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Tiffany, and I'm looking a little weird today because we only have foundation and brows on, and that's because I'm going to be doing a review on a concealer. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Concealer. It says it's multi-use sculpting concealer where you can conceal, contour, highlight, and retouch. It's infused with coconut water, alpine rose, hyaluronic acid. It's hydrating, long-wearing, photo-friendly. Not only is it super full coverage, but it also is hydrating. If you have used any super full coverage concealers in the past, I consider like Tarte Tape Shade to be super full coverage. You know, they can be a little bit drying, so this one claims to be hydrating, which is good because no one wants those cakey, dry, crepey under eyes, right? Today we're going to put this concealer to the test. I'm going to apply it here on camera, let you guys see the finish, how it blends out, and then we're also going to do a wear test. So I'm going to wear it for a couple of hours and then come back on camera so that you guys can see what it's looking like. Now, it was hard for me to find a good match in this concealer. I ended up going with the color Warm Sand, and honestly, I'm not very happy with the shade of this concealer. I mean, it works for my skin tone, but I would prefer something a little bit more on the warm side. And they did have warmer shades. It's just the warmer shades were a little too dark for me as far as highlighting is concerned. The warmer shades were more of a my skin tone versus lighter for highlighting, of course. I hope that makes sense. So I got my base on, I got my primer on, my foundation and brows are done. So I'm gonna jump right into concealing. The good thing about this concealer is it comes in a huge bottle. I have never seen a concealer in a bottle this big. This is a ½ ounce and it costs about $29. If you compare it to the size of other concealers like the Tarte Tape Shade, you can see that you get a lot more product with the Born This Way concealer. Yes, this concealer is only 0.3 ounces, where this is a ½ ounce. I'm gonna go ahead and start applying it to all of the usual places that I highlight. So that's under the eyes, forehead and chin, and bridge of the nose. Gonna blend it all out with my damp beauty blender. It's blending out pretty good. It's very easy to blend, and I can tell already that it is hydrating. It is not as drying as some full coverage concealers. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because the more hydrating it is, I feel like the more it may crease. But we shall see. So far the finish is pretty dewy. It's not matte at all, as you guys can tell. It is definitely a nice dewy or satin finish. So this is where we're at so far. I am not really sure I'm feeling the color of the concealer. What do you guys think? I mean, it's not a bad color. I just don't know how I'm liking it with my skin tone. I'm gonna go ahead and set it right away because since it's so hydrating and creamy, I don't want it to crease. I'm gonna use my usual Sephora Mattifying Powder Foundation in the color Golden Fawn to set everywhere that I highlighted. I'm gonna go ahead and set it twice like I always do, using the Coverfx mattifying setting powder in the color medium. While my nose bakes, I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face. I'm just gonna speed past all of this because this video is all about the concealer review, but I will list all of the products that I use down in the description box. Okay, so this is the final beat. I am off to do a wear test. The time now is about 5:54 p.m. I'm gonna wear this face for a couple more hours and come back and show you guys the final result. Okay guys, so I am back and the time now is about 9:30, actually 9:26 to be exact. I think I first applied the concealer around 5 o'clock, maybe 4:45. So it's been almost 6 hours since I've been wearing the foundation. As you can see, I have some shine going on, you know, a little oil, which is no surprise because I have oily skin, and I haven't touched up once. I have not touched up once. When I do wear tests, I don't like to touch up because, to be quite honest, I never really touch up during the day at all. I don't bring any powders or anything with me, but I think I am gonna start touching up. I think I'm gonna change that because my skin does get pretty oily and pretty shiny throughout the day, even with mattifying primers and foundations and setting sprays. I don't think the concealer is looking bad at all though. I'm gonna go ahead and touch up right now though. Get rid of some of this shine. Voila, good as new. Whoa, touching up really does refresh the makeup. I'm gonna start taking my powders and doing that more often. I'm gonna move a little closer so you guys can see. So there is a little bit of slight creasing under the eyes, but for me, that's pretty normal when I've been wearing the concealer for several hours. I do feel like the concealer is true to the fact that it is very hydrating. My under eyes don't feel dry, they don't look dry, and I use 2 setting powders, so that says a lot. Most of my concealers that I use are matte. In fact, my favorite one by NARS is matte, so using something that's hydrating or a bit creamy is a little bit different for me, but I can't say that I'm mad at it. Like I mentioned before, I had some issues with the shade range. I couldn't find a concealer that I thought was my perfect match. This one, I think the color is okay. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely wearable and it looks pretty good on camera as well. Again, you get 0.5 ounces in this concealer bottle. The applicator is really nice, and again, the price is about $29. I think the concealer is worth the price, especially if you struggle with dry under eyes. This is gonna be your best friend. You probably should really check this out. I think the concealer is worth the $29. I do think it's super full coverage. It covers everything pretty well with just one layer. I didn't feel the need to layer this concealer or double it up with anything else. I think that it wears beautifully throughout the day as the time goes on. It's not seeping into my pores or accentuating any texture, which is a big deal for me because I struggle with texture on my skin. So overall, I think this concealer is a hit. I think it's worth the price point because you get so much product. It's super full coverage and hydrating. If you've been thinking about purchasing it, I think you should go ahead and check it out. Maybe get a sample from Sephora if you're unsure. The only con that I have about the concealer is the shade range or the color range. For me personally, in my skin tone, it's really hard for me to find a color that I thought would fit best. I do think it's worth going out and maybe purchasing a second color to see if I like that better because it is a really good concealer. I can definitely see myself using it in future tutorials. Okay guys, that wraps up another video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know what to do if you did. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have any questions for me about this concealer, leave them down below in the comment section. Please hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every single time I upload a video, which is twice a week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. I'll link all of those down below in the description box. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and until my next one, bye.